Hey y'all, it's Marissa Monique. So I'm going to teach you or talk about how to choose a great scent. I think that scents are a great way to build attraction with people, and then also when it's part of that look good, feel good thing. You know, if you look good, then you feel good. If you feel good, then you look good. If you smell good, then you feel good, then you look good too. You know how it goes. But let me tell you a story. So I had a boyfriend a few years ago, and he was just ranting. This is like very early in our dating connection, and he in our relationship, and he was ranting and raving about this cologne that he had, and I want to say it was Alien for men, but anyway, I like Alien for women a lot better. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But he's ranting and raving about it, and you know, he wore really nice suits, he wore bow ties, all this stuff, and he's just spraying it all over. And sometimes I would lean in and I'd be like, babe, what you have on? And he'd be like, I got my Alien on, da 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 da. I'd be like, honey, I think we can do better. And he's like, what? He was just so offended, right? So anyway, we get like 6 months or so down the line, and I decide I'm just getting really sick of this cologne. I like him, but I don't like the cologne. And so I decide that I'm going to go get a few samples of some of my favorite colognes and give them to him and just say, hey, you know, try them or whatever. Honey, he ends up trying this one particular one. I only gave him about 2 or 3, but the ladies in the office were going crazy. And a couple of them had the guts to say, I don't know what you were wearing before, but we hated that. Like, this smells so much better. And he was like, and he finally understood, one, this proves that, you know, you don't always know what's best for you. 2, there are things that women and men, we each add to each other's lives. And so when you get into a relationship, you should start trusting the opinions and influence of your partner. And if there's something they want you to just, you know, tweak, first of all, wearing a scent has nothing to do with his character. Wearing a scent has nothing to do with his habits. It has nothing to do with who he is. But he was so defiant about it until the masses started talking about it. And I had to like slowly, you know, influence him by just giving him a few samples. So take that into account. So believe people, you know, who are close to you when they share something that they think maybe you should tweak or change or whatever. Like, be open to it at least. So anyway, I've also, you know, in the past just purchased perfumes because I was like, oh, this smells so good, this is fantastic, and I love the smell. So one of my sisters, she has the smeller of a pregnant woman. Like, her nose has always been super keen. My father is like that too. Like, he'll walk into a place and be like, what's that smell? And both of them are like that. Anyway, I once asked for my birthday, I went and smelled a particular scent, and I feel like my sister almost wanted to kick me out of the car, kick me out of the house, kick me out of the room every time I wore my Bottega Veneta, honey. She was like, this is disgusting. You need to get rid of this. So it wasn't really working for me. So eventually I had to, you know, I couldn't return it. So, you know, it goes on the pillows and, you know, the car and stuff like that now. Oh, well, like that perfume had to have a funeral. So anyway, but let's see. I'm going to tell you the best way that I have found to select fragrances. So there's something called pheromones. I think it's kind of the reason why some of us are drawn to each other, or some of us, you know, think each other smells so good. It's kind of the way that dogs, you know, go up to each other and they like sniff each other's booties because they're just trying to figure out, does that smell good to me? Or how does that work? What's that? And they, you know, they pick up on scents. And I feel like humans are the same way. I also consider, you know, the right scent for people. I kind of relate it to cooking, and I'm an avid cook. I love to be in the kitchen. And so sometimes, you know, you have to figure out which scent goes best with you. And so if you imagine yourself as like garlic is an awesome aromatic. It's very strong. And when cooking, it goes really well with rosemary or white wine or certain vinegars or, you know, other herbs and spices. So if I smell like garlic, then I should find a scent that is very close to rosemary or something that complements garlic. I'm not going to go out there and be garlic and then try to find a scent that represents cinnamon. I don't put garlic and cinnamon together. And so that's kind of how scents are. So you have to try on these scents. I suggest you always get samples first. Do not commit to something unless you need to try it first. And so that's how pheromones are. Certain pheromones, certain scents go better with others. So if I'm garlic, then I need to find something that complements it. And so I'll normally go get a couple samples, some stuff I'm interested in. I'll also tell the salesperson what I like if I like clean scents, or I like musky scents, or I like rose, or I like peony, or I like whatever it is. You can let them kind of dictate what to try for you. And then I want you to put some on, put it in different spots. So sometimes I use my wrist as number 1, and then I use this, bend my elbow as number 2. Then I use my neck as number 3. And I only usually try about 3. But what I will do, I'll be in a high-end mall. I'll get my 3 scent samples, and I'll put number 1, number 2, number 3 on, and then I'll walk around. And then guess what I'll do? I'll go find about 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 men at the most, that I actually find attractive, or I like their style or whatever, or I like how classy they look. And I'll just poll them really quick. And I'll say, hey, I'm trying a new scent. Do you mind if, I'm trying to find a new perfume. Do you mind checking it out for me? They're usually very well ready and willing. And honestly, as a single, it's an opportunity to flirt too. So I'll say, hey, try this one. And they'll say, oh, that's okay. And then they'll try the second one. And they'll be like, oh my God, that smells fantastic. And then, the third one, that smells good too. And then I'll ask them, well, which one would you choose? And which one's for work? And which one would you use for church? And which one is, for a date? And they'll tell me, like, it's an opportunity to engage with people. And if you are shy, it's an opportunity to, find a way to talk to people, because you're actually just trying to get a job done. You're trying to figure something out, and you'd be surprised how willing people are to help you. So I do that all the time when I'm trying scents. I never just buy something off the shelf unless I say I have a friend or a sister or somebody that has a bottle of it and I've tried it and I know it works, or I've gotten compliments on it in the past. Let's see, let me look at my notes. Like I said, pay attention to those who give you a compliment. Another thing that I do is, once I feel like I found something that works for me, or say I'm going on a first date with a guy, if I put on something that I feel like works for me and he really responds positively to it, like I've gotten in a car with a man before and he's been like, oh my God, you smell so good. Like kind of the way that Cat Williams, like, what? Like that kind of thing. Who's getting that scent for the rest of our dates? That man is getting that particular scent for the rest of the dates. Now, if he doesn't say anything about the way I smell, or I'm just curious, I'll say, hey babe, what do you think about that scent? And he'll be like, it's all right. If I get it's all right, that's not good enough for me. And so I will try something else the next time we go on a date, if we decide to go on another date. Also, something I want to mention is that for the most part, I use oil-based fragrances. Now, in stores, these are normally very expensive. You cannot necessarily find oil-based fragrances at a store like Macy's or Dillard's. You usually have to go higher up. You got to get into your Bloomies. You got to get into your Neiman's. You got to get, go higher or whatever. But I'm someone that has very sensitive skin. And so I have discovered that the oil-based fragrances have a lot less chemicals and synthetic things that make me itch. Synthetics actually make me itch. They make me break out into hives. They make my nose kind of tingly and itchy. And so if you're someone that has allergies, I would suggest going oil-based and maybe Googling, what are your best oil-based fragrances or oil-based brands or names. That has helped so much. So anyway, I just want to encourage y'all not to just be pulling things off the shelf, like figure out, okay, if I'm garlic, garlic. I need to be joining with rosemary, with thyme. I don't need to be, jumping in no cinnamon or whatever, because a lot of things that smell good to us to our nose, actually, once they are on our skin, they bond with us, our chemical makeup, they don't smell so great. And so you need to test that before you commit your, $100 or more or whatever you're going to a particular scent. That's your free game for the day. You're welcome.